In their dreams, an impossible tree. At its base, a bustling city. A voice. Come to me, child. I've missed you. Return to me, for only you and your brothers and sisters can save me. Return to your roots. Come to Duilleagan. Return Orilond to what it once was, and is meant to be. A new group of heroes, and an unknown fate. A lost child, a child of innocence, a child of dreams. One of dragon magic, one of justice, and one of rebirth.
Alright, so, who remembers where we left off last week?
Candles, and we offered up the flowers and stuff in the room, and then a spirit kind of poofed. But otherwise, it was more exploring.
Oh yeah, and before that, we offered up an endless chicken and various small items and fisted an altar.
Yeah, that's true.
Yep. Also, we said tons and tons of dirty jokes and made Pixie laugh so hard she couldn't DM for about 3 minutes.
I think that about covers everything.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Does that mean we had one inspiration die?
I think you do.
Yay!
Oh, okay.
Nice catch.
Neat.
Boom! Inspiration.
Woohoo!
Alright. So, what would you guys like to do at this point? We need to get Maga's token on the sheet for her. We can do that.
I believe the plan was to further explore this.
Huh?
I have to pull Maga out.
Pull from the pouch.
Just what happens is I will reach into my pouch for something random and end up with a Maga.
Did that drop it? I don't think I'm on the right layer.
That's what happens. I don't know.
I am on the right layer. It just didn't drop her for some reason. Hello? Oh, because I got the wrong thing.
There's Maga.
That's here.
Hello.
And then does Berkrin turn into jelly?
Why would he turn into jelly?
Because the
No.
gelatinous cube engulfs him.
No, what gelatinous cube?
You're just making stuff up now.
No, what happens though is he does fall asleep. So as you pull
right,
out,
so, we have to
so as you
carry
reach,
his arse.
so as you reach into your bag. Well, are you looking for Maga when you do this? Because you have to be looking. You kind of have to reach in with intent for something like that.
So at Kender Pouch, you actually have to reach in for intent. I thought a Kender Pouch was I need something. I don't know what, but something.
Right? No, I'm thinking bag of holding. Never mind.
Right.
No, it's fine. So you reach in, and you pull out Maga, and as you pull Maga out, you hear a thump behind you guys, and Berkrin is out cold on the floor.
I look at Maga.
Oh.
Look at my pouch. Look at Maga again. I attempt to stuff Berkrin in it.
Berkrin will not fit in.
I don't.
I get his foot.
I can. Thatch, I can carry him.
Um,
I'll kind of start scooping Berkrin up onto my back like a little backpack.
But
you know,
but I want my own pocket edgelord.
You can carry the scythe. I'm sure he won't mind.
Yay! And it's like 5 times taller than me, but I'm gonna carry it anyway. I look like the world's
God,
shortest
he's dead.
Reaper.
Okay, so what would you guys like to do?
Where did you guys drag me off to now?
We're in a cave.
We saw snakes, then we killed the snakes, then we ate the snakes. They were delicious.
What was in this room?
that was candles and a spirit, and the spirit went woo, and it all felt better.
Right.
And then
We upset him.
no,
Well, that was
it was a peaceful going away.
Okay.
No, you upset
my
the
bed,
one that
I
you tried
wake up in a strange place being yanked by my hair.
It was your foot, actually, but we'll go with your hair if that's what you like.
The fisted spirit is the upset spirit.
Right. So,
Of course it's upset.
nothing else in this area further. Then we go back and explore something we haven't seen yet.
Moving on.
Wait.
120 foot.
Oof.
Gaze
Roughly.
being squares.
I've got the formula out for time and everything too, so.
What have I got on me? I forgot.
Thatch, where are you going?
I'm going this way.
All right.
Which way is this way?
Well, have fun.
Uh-huh. I'm probably actually drawing this map as we go, because it's what I do. But as you are looking at the map, south. Eh.
Are you taking your friend with you, Thatch?
I'm taking the badger with me.
The friend you pulled out of the pouch?
Oh. Well, she feels like it.
He has shaky object permanence in general. But
You're trying to figure out where the heck you guys drug me off to.
We didn't drag you off anywhere, Maga. Apparently, you got pulled out of the Kender's pouch. Cause magic.
we last saw you in the city.
Yep.
I saw you guys in the tavern when I went to bed.
Right. And
Yeah.
then I had you and your belongings transported to my house. And, you should have a new pot with you.
Pot, kettle, pot. Are they both black?
No, it was a shiny copper
Find
one.
my new pot.
Ah.
Tiny pot that I went to sleep with?
Yeah, your belongings would be with you.
Yeah, it was one that was gotten for you the day after. Berkrin got it for Maga.
I got another pot. I like pots.
Mhm. So do I. Blaze it.
Or did you cook
Unsure
him
of
already?
Okay, so what's in this corner?
I hadn't seen you were over there.
Ah, yes. And I have Berkrin on me like a backpack.
Oh, you guys decided to go in the opposite direction. I see how it is.
To be fair, Kara left before Thatch, and Thatch just walked straight on by her.
Yeah,
Actually, technically, Thatch went running down the hallway past you, making vroom vroom noises.
Why is Thatch making broom broom noises?
Because we're racing cape.
Looking at Berkrin, can I try and find something on my person to put him in a temporary pocket dimension or something?
Do you
I
have
can
something on your
carry
person
him.
that would do that?
Yeah, she's tinkered so many things, it's possible she'd have something like that.
If
Why don't we
she
stick
didn't
her in the Kender
explicitly,
Pouch where apparently I came from?
if she didn't explicitly pack it earlier, she does not have it now.
I
Right.
have some rope. We can tie him to my back. That may work better and leave my hands free.
Hold on a moment.
I'll need some assistance.
One moment.
I have a sparkly potion. I'm not sure what it does. We could try it on him.
I feel as though waking Berkrin may not be our best plan of action at the moment.
I don't know what my sparkly potion does.
Where was the sparkly potion acquired from again?
My pouch.
That was descriptive.
My bag.
Is there a description of what it does in your back?
Like when you got it, maybe?
I had it before I met the little dude in the forest because I fell asleep and woke up next to a tree.
Okay.
I wake up in strange places. Go to sleep, I wake up someplace else.
Let's maybe hold off on the mystery potion.
He looks like an the drop.
Okay. Yep. Yeah. So Carl, help with the fashioning.
Are we tying him to me?
A white rabbit gave it to me.
Either that, or I mean, we can put him in his knapsack and put some rope on that and just drag him.
I don't like that plan as much. I think we can just tie him to me, leaving my arms free to do what I need to, and I'll keep him safe.
Okay.
So, yeah, we'll tie Berkrin to my back like one of those like toddler things that you hold the baby on your, but reversed.
So
Kind of.
what we're doing is we're essentially tying his feet together around Nix's waist, and then
Wait.
down to the waist rope to make a Berkrin backpack.
That would be interesting.
Not what I had in mind, but
So,
as long as it's functional.
I don't want to know where you put things in that
Caramottin.
backpack.
as you
Yes.
are helping with this, you notice an oddity about this dwarf, and that's the fact that not only was he a little furrier than most dwarves you'd seen, but maybe he was just a little bit hairier. He's got a tail. You hadn't seen it before because he had it wrapped around his waist, right about where a belt normally would have been, and it looked like a belt.
Interesting.
I too have a tail. Anyway, is he nice and secure, Kara?
Yeah.
I do some like movements and calisthenics to make sure I have at least most of my mobility still.
Up, down, touch the ground.
Lean to the right, stand up, sit down.
Fight, fight.
Right.
Rah, rah, ree, kick him in the knee. Rah, rah, rest, kick him in the other knee.
Yes.
Head, nose, knees and toes, head and shoulders, knees
Further
and toes.
explore down here. Is Maga coming with us, or are you going with Thatch?
That is a very good question.
No. I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing here. I'm just standing here. Somebody pulled me out of a bathtub.
Come on, Maga.
Who wins beware?
Kara's calling for Maga.
I am am no longer making vroom vroom noises now that I notice that no one else is with me, and I am going as quiet and stealthily as I can.
Interesting. Is the badger also moving stealthily?
Yes. Well, about as stealthily as a giant badger can. But let's face it, who are you going to find being much more natural in a cave? A giant badger or some guy in full armor? Well, not full armor, but, you know, some guy. I don't know.
Wander along with you guys then, and everything around me trying to figure this out.
I'm wondering if we shouldn't backtrack as we get into this little crevice. Is there anything there?
Well, what are you doing to check?
I'm gonna use my eyes to look around.
Descriptive.
Okay. So I think I'll start with describing stuff for Maga first, even though she's not right there with you guys.
Sure.
So I'm assuming Maga has been in caves before.
Woken up at some pretty strange places.
Okay. So
Dragons have a cave.
Maga would notice this cave was wildly different from any cave she had seen before. The walls are perfectly smooth, as is the floor. You hear bats and other critters, but you don't see any sign of them. No fecal matter, nothing. There's not a speck of dust anywhere.
I know my cottage.
I can spot that one a mile.
Okay.
She gets really dusty.
The trick is actually to find the activation.
Back over to Caramottin. We find a warhammer, a potion, what looks like another potion and another vial, and 800 electrum.
Whoa.
Excellent. I'll go ahead and pocket those and take a closer inspection at the warhammer. Does it seem to have any specific runes or anything on it?
It is an exquisitely decorated warhammer, and it just kind of throbs when you first pick it up, and then it's silent, so to speak.
Throbs.
It appears to be made out of mithril,
Oh.
so it's a lot lighter than a person would have expected picking it up. It is
Interesting.
quite large even for a warhammer.
So
And there's a fancy hammer.
Throbs, does it need a battery replacement?
Kara, have you found a new toy?
I may have, but I'm wondering. So, Kara, having dealt with a lot of materials and history with blacksmithing and everything, going to the blacksmiths and helping people around, would mithril be a common material right now that's used?
Not at all. It hasn't been used as a common thing in hundreds of years at this point.
It looks pretty old.
It doesn't necessarily look old, that's the weird thing. While the metal itself is something that would have to be quite old, it looks brand new.
Are there any words on it that I can see?
There's runes, but you don't recognize them.
Are you sure I don't recognize them?
I'm sure you don't recognize them.
Does it feel magical?
If it's throbbing, maybe you had a stroke a few times.
Considering I have a mastery of all languages, I find it very difficult that I...
And yet it's still true.
Interesting.
Language you don't know.
Yeah, I know. That's very intriguing.
Or it's being obfuscated somehow.
You're not there.
I know.
Thing puzzling you there, Kara?
Thoughts from the peanut gallery.
Yes, it's not often that I can't read something. I'm intrigued.
Are you puzzled?
I'm actually gonna slap this thing on my back.
Don't worry, Kara. There's lots of things I can't read.
I can teach you if you like.
Read lots. Maybe I should look at it. Shiny. I like shiny
Okay.
things.
She'll go ahead and pass it on to Maga to take a look at and point out the runes.
Ooh, pretty.
Wordless
It would indeed be very, very pretty. Like I said, it is an extremely ornate hammer. One of the only things you guys would have noticed on it is there is a symbol for Palor on it.
Palor.
Hold on a second. There's a symbol for Palor on it.
Mm-hmm.
Lore?
So at the base of the handle, where you have the little the metal that's usually there to help counterbalance, on the butt end of it. It's very small.
Is this something I can point out to Kara?
You'd be able to. I believe most people would still know who Palor is, even in Orilond.
I was gonna ask how much Nyx would know about various religions in general, just kind of asking about the world itself. I don't know what the elves, how involved they are.
They're
different
Do you know
really
what this is? And I shove.
Excuse me, what was that?
Kara will look at the symbol and be like, yes, I know exactly what that is. Now please get it away from me.
You're
I
puzzled now?
I can hold the hammer.
You can try. It's a hammer of Palor. He
Shiny
doesn't
and
exactly
pretty.
think kindly of people from darkness.
Had you experienced any other weapons of Palor before?
Yeah, she would have experienced.
This one would not have felt like the other ones.
Shiny and pretty. I might keep it.
Yeah, the last few that she's had contact with burnt her.
No offense,
Yeah,
Maga.
this one would not have.
Can you even wield that?
Swing it around. It's about smack you in the
Swings.
head.
Please be careful.
Yeah,
I can
it
swing.
swings as easy as if it was made out of foam.
Just like swinging
Oh,
a cast iron skillet. I can swing the hammer.
all right.
Well,
Blunt instrument.
right then. So, there's no candles or anything in this room?
No candles.
Okay.
Should we go find our Kender friend?
Yes, feel free to. I'm going to
Going to come back.
do something a little silly.
That's typically my job.
You know all those rooms that we didn't bother trying to relight the candles or anything on?
As I remember, we didn't have much of a way to.
Fire.
I have plenty of ways to light fire.
Oh, then you should have been doing that. And are you going to go do that now?
Yes.
Light things on fire.
With the way that seemed to ease the tension in the area.
That's going to take several days. You're aware of that.
It's a long walk. Oh wait, I'm not there.
Let's catch up with Thatch and then we can probably cover more ground.
All right.
Let's split up, gang. Rare.
I'm fine with that.
Oh, hey, look at that. I apparently found something.
Yeah. And Kara, we probably would have ran to catch up with Thatch at this point.
Okay. You guys hear cawing on the other side of the door.
Oh,
There's a chicken. There's a chicken.
Raven.
is it the ghost bird?
Except the ghost bird is back with Berkrin.
Is it? And I look at Berkrin.
Yeah, and it's on his shoulder.
Is it?
That's where,
Is
at
it?
least that's where it would have been, because it was on him.
He fell asleep.
It goes poof.
Ah.
I
Okay,
see.
let's open the door, Thatch.
Okie dokie, artichoke.
One moment.
Can we open this door?
Heave ho, here we go.
You guys can go ahead and roll initiative. You guys do get surprise.
Oh.
You see 5 goblins.
Oh, wow.
Goblins?
Yeah.
Oh,
Let me see if I
oh.
can. Let me fix the turn tracker here.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
All right.
So here's the question about this particular bit here.
Ooh.
Are these back? Is this room normal size, or do they have to go 220 feet to us?
We're gonna say it's normal size. We talked about this. Why you do this now?
It's very loose.
Caramottin, to roll your
what she
initiative,
said.
make sure you click on your token first.
I did.
Can
Excuse me, Maga. Sorry.
see a token on the board. I just see a map.
Your token does not show for you.
It's right here.
Is that not
Look
show
for the
for you?
pings.
For some reason, I can't control it either. Can we stop pinging right on it? Thank you.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it won't let me
Okay.
grab it either. Okay. There. Is it on the right
I
layer?
apologize, but I'm not seeing any tokens.
The token is the thing you've been dragging, sweetie.
I
Yeah.
haven't been dragging anything.
You're
Okay.
on roll 20.
I did.
Yes.
Alright, go ahead and drag a new one out. So click on your character sheet's name from the right panel and drop it on the
Straight
map.
onto the map.
Where on the map I'm supposed to drag it, but
With the
Bottom
rest of the
area.
group.
You might need to zoom in.
Or,
We're all down here.
Oh shit.
okay.
There we go.
So then
There
on your
you go.
sheet, click initiative again, and that should add you to the turn order.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I not able to click on things?
I don't know. But whatever I
know
drag,
why. I know.
Say that again, Maga.
Don't forget, I have ambuscade.
What layer is that on? That does not
What?
seem to be what it should be.
doesn't say I'm in the.
Ambuscade. Ambuscade.
Karen, are you not able to click on your token you dragged out? Maga?
I'm not able to click on any
Oh,
tokens right now.
there it
either.
goes. There's one.
Okay, there we go.
Are you guys able to see the goblins?
I
Yeah.
see 5 of them, if that's all of them in a raven.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Cool.
For some reason, I can't. Wait. That could just be me. That could just be me having it done. That was me having it done.
Cool.
Okay.
That means it's fixable.
Yeah.
Can we go ahead and change up the turn order to however you're wanting it?
Oh. Uh-oh.
Remember, we have a surprise round right now, apparently.
Yep. I'm just
Yep.
getting them in. So you guys will all go first. Because they weren't expecting anyone. The door slides open. You guys see them first. They had your backs to you. There's a small
Does
fire.
anyone get advantage on this?
You do get advantage. It's a surprise round.
I also get ambuscade. Which means I go before anybody else.
Get that add. It did not add them to the turn order, but it added the map? The what?
What?
That's
Who knows what's happening?
Okay.
What were these guys doing though?
that thing.
Goblin one was. Hold on. 8.14. Add.
So let me
That's
get this
intense.
right. You get a round before the surprise round.
No. I'm just getting it in there. You guys get
No,
surprised.
No. Kill. Thatch.
Yeah, Thatch is.
Whisper knife.
Ambuscade?
Mm-hmm.
I believe so, yeah.
Yep. Every time I roll an initiative in combat.
You know, is it just me, or is anyone else starting to think like MMO or anything else where you take something out with the first strike, run away to disengage the fight, run back in, reroll initiative, take advantage of the ambuscade, and then just keep dipping in and out like that?
I don't think that's a thing.
Oh, it is. That is a thing that you can do. And have you not played Skyrim?
I don't play video games.
That is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Age of Camelot.
And we're friends with you, how?
Age of Camelot is my addiction.
That is the right portion of the map. That's weird that you're not seeing any tokens. I don't know what to do about that. I don't know Roll20 enough to fix that.
Who's not seeing tokens?
Maga.
That's what I'm seeing.
I don't know.
What? She may not be on the right layer.
If she drug it out, there's only... For some reason it shows her on the GM layer.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Whoa, what is this layer?
What? Fuck it, I don't care if you guys see the labels. You guys seeing everything there?
I
Not
just see,
everything,
like-
that's what's out of the fog of war.
Yeah, there's just some random letters. I don't know what they mean, so.
Undo. I undo. It's not letting me undo. What did it do?
I'm not seeing what you guys are seeing.
No. I can't fix it right now. No!
Okay. So, are we ready to do this thing?
Yeah.
The turn order needs to be a thing, though.
You guys get your rounds
It's all
first.
jumbled.
Right.
Yeah, that means Thatch.
I get my first shot first, actually.
You get your extra whatever.
There we go. I got fixed.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Oh man, I'm last.
So this is advantage.
So, as you guys open the door, right, before we get into the actual fighting, now that we've got everything set, you see 5 goblins, backs to you, huddled around a fire. They look pretty skinny, like even for goblins. You get the feeling that this is not the cave system they actually live in, and maybe they've been lost in here for a while. And from the tones of their voices, it sounds like they're arguing. And then, as they hear you, one of them jumps up and turns around and yells. Caramottin, do you speak Goblin?
Yes.
Okay, so you would understand. Hey, who are you? What are you doing here?
My name is Inigo Montoya. Oh, sorry.
Now the question is, does Thatch understand?
Thatch does not speak Goblin.
Well-
Thatch speaks a variety of things, mostly involving animals, and goblins don't count as animals.
So do I have a chance to respond before
Yeah.
he attacks?
Well, as
This
That's the
conversation.
question.
This conversation's technically before initiative, so I would think so.
We're just exploring the cave looking for something. Who are you and why are you here?
You responding in Goblin or?
Yes.
Gotcha.
So the goblin looks at you and looks at the rest of you. Says, "This is new home. You go this new home."
Do I see Berkrin's bird?
Yes,
Is
and
it Berkrin's bird?
it's flying around, cawing.
I'm sorry, but this is not your new home, and I go and motion down at Thatch to attack. Because once goblins have made something their home, they won't leave. At least that's as far as Caramottin's knowledge of them goes. With her experiences.
And then you gotta call an exterminator and do all the laundry, and there's a smell that won't go away, and you have to throw bug bombs, and God, it's an infestation.
There's few creatures Kara has no problem killing. Goblins are one of them because of what they do to people.
These
She
don't seem to
did.
be much harm.
She did not know Borgu. Oh.
There's some very nice goblins, just like there's some very, very nice kobolds. Remember, 11 days!
He doesn't know it. Alright.
So I'm being motioned to shoot them, so I do.
Yes.
Okay. Which one are you gonna shoot at?
One all the way in the back.
Okay. Go ahead, roll to attack.
Bonk.
Roll. Okay. Oh yeah.
God.
Yeah, you hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
Jesus.
Alright.
Adding.
So with that,
Hold on.
Oh, there's more?
Adding the 1d6 psychic damage to it from.
you don't even need to.
Oh, okay.
Arrow flies, hits right between the eyes, it falls over. The rest of the goblins scream out in rage.
Okay. And then it would be it would be Badger's turn.
It's ambush turn.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Grip will hold action at us to engage any of the goblins who have.
Alright. So
Basically,
that'll...
his withheld action is attack a goblin who comes within
5
3
feet.
feet of 5 to 3 feet of one of our party.
Gotcha.
Okay.
But that would bring us to Maga next.
Cast a nuke.
I try it.
More dots. Okay, less dots. It's a 50 DKP minus.
What is happening?
The spell here. I'm going to cast Silnox Snowball Storm if I can figure it out.
So to do that,
Fantastic.
So to do that, you click on the spell from your spell list.
First she has to roll a d30,
Right.
Spell
Roll a
casting.
d30. That's right.
because that's a level 2 spell.
Yep.
I have to roll.
So,
Slash roll space 1d30.
And I need to pull that back on the list. /R.
oh, okay. Normal.
All right.
Oh, wow.
So with a roll,
Right down the middle.
with a normal roll, you do not need. Well, go ahead and roll the d4 because it could still end up giving bonuses. Okay. Where did that go?
So, I'm Is that like centered
All right.
right in the middle of them?
So with a 1, it is doubled. This is an AoE, so this would
Yep.
be
Oh, yeah.
180 feet in the middle of all of them. Go ahead and
No, it's a
10
5
feet.
foot radius.
It's yeah,
so
it'd be
10-foot
10
radius.
feet.
the range is 90
it's-
feet. The
The sphere is 5 foot, which would make it 10 foot.
10 foot. Okay. So yeah.
So
Yeah, let's engulf the entire room in ice.
So tactically, you could probably hit 2.
if it's right there, it hits all of them.
Fine.
Okay.
Thank you. So
Don't they
choose.
have to roll a save?
Yep. Oops.
Well, where are you gonna be trying? Go ahead and ping to show me where you're trying to land it.
Like I said, I can't see anything but maps, so
Okay.
That's what I was
hey,
saying.
So back 2
Okay.
or front 2?
Okay.
I can't see where anybody's at. So
That's
We're
yeah,
at the
like
entrance of that little room all the way at the bottom.
So
Okay.
that is a dex save.
mhm. Ooh, it's pretty high.
What is your spell DC?
DC.
Should
Bang your
be
spell
at the
list.
top of your spell sheet.
hmm
It has your ability, spell save DC, and then your attack bonus. So it's the middle.
12.
It's
Okay.
12.
12.
Okay, so one saves and the other doesn't. Go ahead and roll your 3d6 damage.
Nice.
Okay. So with that, another goblin falls. The other one turns kind of icy. He's got a layer of ice on him.
Gobsicle.
Puff, puff, puff.
They're green, so it's lime flavored.
Alright, so then it's back to Thatch.
Yep.
So, free action, I will cast. Hold on.
One of the things I would like
let me
you
do that.
guys to do is, when you're casting stuff, if you could explain if it's somatic, what kind of hand movements you're doing, or
Yeah,
If
that's what I'm doing right now.
if it's a vocal one, what do you say? Pretty sure you guys
So-
all have focuses to mitigate any material need.
Mhm.
For casting this thing, all it really requires is concentration. However, what I would do is I'd run my hand along the shaft of the arrow when thorns out all along the shaft before it fires.
Alright, roll a d30.
Because I am.
Is this Hail of Thorns?
Yep.
Fun.
So that is good, I believe. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And roll a d4. Okay. So this one is doubled as well. Go ahead, do your spell.
Wow.
And then, since it's a free action, I can do just an attack action and shoot the nearest goblin.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I think Hail of Thorns is a bonus action, right?
So what do you
Yeah.
say? Because this is
Bonus
a
action.
vocal thing to cause the...
Except, I am a Whisper Knight, and I don't have to use vocal component.
Okay. Okay. That's right. You don't even whisper to it.
Nope!
No loving whispers. Alright.
All
Who
you
you
see is
shooting?
my grin in the shadows. So, bunk!
That's
Damage on normal.
gonna hit.
And then And damage is 7 for the arrows. And then
Which goblin?
the closest one to us.
Okay.
So the two that are, next to each other.
This guy's supposed to do a dex.
Yep. You have to do a dex save, target number 13.
Alright. He beats your dex. And does that say half as much on a successful one? Okay. Alright.
What about the guy behind him? Is he still in range to get hit by it? Because it's an AoE.
He's in range to get hit by the thorn bit, yes.
Yep. The damage on thorn.
The other one has to make a dex save too.
Yep.
He does not save. He's going to take full damage. So go ahead and roll the damage for the spell. Because this first one
Are you
would
kidding
have
me?
fallen.
On 2d10. Huh?
How much damage? 7.
7.
Well,
Alright.
the first guy took 7 piercing from the arrow, and then half of 7 for the thorns. The other guy just took 7 damage from.
Yep. And with that, the thorns, as they pierce into his body, they go pretty deep. One of them catches him right through the neck, and he falls as well.
Wow.
There is one goblin left.
Does he give up?
Try talking to this one, girl.
He just he stands there for a moment, and you see his whole body shiver. And you hear a wet tinkling noise.
Oh.
Tim Tinkle.
And you see him look around the room, and realizing there's no corners or nothing to hide in, he just gets as small as he can. Like, no more, no more. That was my family, no
enough.
more. Why?
Yeah.
We don't have to
This
kill
was
them
our
all.
home.
One
What would you guys
goblin
like to do?
isn't a threat by himself.
Nope.
We can let this one go.
Let's go create another nest.
We can take it
As
with us. and have a
civilizations
mascot.
do.
You make him a pet.
They're not pests. They're creatures.
We could take it with us.
So as you guys,
It could be the badger's play toy. He would love it and cuddle it and love it forever.
are talking, Maga, you feel the warhammer on your back throb.
You can do it again.
Well, Nix, I understand your feelings on sparing it. I have no love for these creatures or the desire to let them create another nest. And with that, she's just going to throw...
I will not let you do that. Thatch knows what you're going to do, and he's going to try to latch onto your arm to prevent you from throwing your chain or whatever it is you're going to throw at him.
I am actually, in response to that, I would like to invoke my blood curse of the eyeless. My blood maledict.
Okay.
And at the very least impose disadvantage on the attack.
Okay.
Because
Oh, can I play with my hammer and knock up Kara upside the head?
I mean, if you want to smack her upside the head, since it seems like you guys want to
Here's
start
the
in
thing
your
is,
fight.
Smack Kara.
first off,
Yeah.
does Nix have Warcaster?
Why would I need Warcaster?
Because it's technically still in combat right now, which means you would have to be using that as a reaction.
My blood maledict is already a reaction.
Towards what?
It just says one reaction. I can use my reaction. You attacking. Yeah, I can just choose to use it.
Okay. And do you have any reactions that would allow you to run that distance and grapple onto me, Kill?
no, but the badger does.
No, you gave it hold action to where it has to wait.
True. However, a free action is what, 3 words?
Mm-hmm.
So I would tell him, "Stop her." In which case, you get glommed by a badger.
Yeah.
Except a held action is a held action, not a held movement.
Movement is an action. So if the
And how
movement
far away from the badger are you?
I'm right in front of the remaining goblin.
Oh, there you are. Yes, this is true. Fine. You know what?
So
Do what
yeah,
you do.
Kara's just
You know-
gonna straight up.
And Nixnim is gonna bite you.
Okay.
He thinks you're being mean.
Alright.
Oh, my cat is climbing my
So,
chair.
uh,
Okay.
I'm attacking at disadvantage then.
Yeah.
Do what you do.
There's the first one. And is that only for one attack?
I did not amplify it, so yes.
The first one does not hit because why? Alright. With the 22, it does hit.
And that is a flurry of blows attack.
Uh-huh.
So, make another one.
Alright, so with that second hit, how would you like to do this?
Chain straight through the throat.
Okay. So your chain whips out, wraps around it, and the blade cuts straight through. Goblin's head falls to the floor.
And I walk away.
That's end of combat, right?
Yep.
That was wholly unnecessary and cruel. It was unarmed, innocent, well, not really innocent, but unarmed, and at our mercy. Not to mention the fact it could have had information about what's going on in here that we could have talked to it, because you understood what they said, the rest of us don't. So you just killed valuable information out of spite. And with that, nope, Thatch walks out of the room as well.
I'm going with them.
Okay. And Kara's just gonna clean off her blades and check on the bird.
The bird will have followed Nyx out, seeing as Berkrin is on Nyx's back.
Okay. So it wasn't chained or anything?
No.
Okay.
Was flying around the room.
Is there anything else in the room?
How are you searching?
I'm going to do a thorough investigation of it to see what all is around, scraps of paper, whatever.
You don't find any scraps, however, you find a pile of javelins that was in the corner away from the goblins, some arrows, a sling, and one refined garnet worth 200 gold pieces.
Okay.
When's the last time we made camp?
That's a good question.
Yesterday, essentially.
Yeah. It was when we were over here.
Okay, so it's been a little while, but not too bad.
Yeah, it's been about 10 hours roughly. So, Carl gather up the javelins and everything and put them in her bag of holding. I'm gonna check the bodies as well.
There wasn't anything on the bodies other than the clothing.
No
They-
personal effects or anything?
No. Everything they had was stacked neatly in the corner.
Do the javelins look like they'd been recently used or anything?
No.
Okay. So, Carl, head on out, and
I will have lingered behind, kind of in this area,
I think.
just to kind of get my bearings back together.
Can I help you?
Refocus.
Mm-hmm.
Can I help you? You want lap?
Kara's just gonna pass Nix on by if he's still waiting there by the time that she catches up.
Yeah, probably. You're fast as shit, so.
Yeah. Average moving speed of 40, 60 if I'm flying.
Hmm.
So still no token for you, Maga? So I thought I'd finally found it and fixed it.
I see 2 of her on the map, but again, I don't think she's seeing any tokens.
Seen any tokens? No. I know the spot where I dropped my token.
Yeah, that does sound like wrong layer then.
No, it's
But-
on token. She wasn't seeing any of the goblins either, and those were on the token as well.
The map.
I guess I'll just move yours as needed then until we can figure out what's going on with that. Did you try reloading roll 20?
Did it a couple of times.
Okay. Well, that's about it we're able to do far as troubleshooting then.
Have you tried moving her? Is she on the GM layer or not?
She is not on the GM layer, I made sure.
Okay.
It's just whatever's going on there. I wonder if it's Fog of War stuff.
It's possible. Right, she hasn't been on since the Fog of War.
Yeah. Settings. Advanced. Insight.
I know you had to add our dark vision on
Right.
before.
I think we've got that. We will do.
So.
I think I've got it. Anything now? Well, no, because she's not seeing your guys's either, and she should have been able to.
Hmm.
Really? You're gonna. Really?
Alright. So, what would you guys like to do now?
Let's see. Oriented with a map, Thatch is going to head south again from that central point that he's in.
We've
Okay.
not been there yet.
Thatch, hold on.
Thatch isn't speaking to Kara right now.
I want to go ahead if I were you, but. And with that, she's gonna throw the javelins down on the ground and then start heading up to, as quickly as possible, go to each room and light the candles.
And that's still gonna take her quite a while, so she's
Oh,
essentially
that's
out.
fine. Nix knows what she's doing. She talked to her about it beforehand.
Okay.
Honestly, if it's been a little over 10 hours, we should probably make a temp camp and do a short rest.
I mean, in one turn I can go full square, so out of everyone I'm the fastest one to do it.
Okay.
Got a roll.
Unless I'm
Wanna roll that?
making race car noises.
Do you go 60
Rocket.
feet?
Hold on.
Because I thought you had 40-foot fly. Plus 10, so that'd be 50.
Yeah, that'd be 50. Race car bat noises.
Oh my god, race car sonar, that's basically what that would be.
Yep.
Okay.
Alright.
Awesome, Maga. So Maga hands out meat and cheese rolls to everyone that is there currently. Are you guys resting right now?
I'm down for a short rest.
Yep.
Okay.
Thatch will share with Maga the chicken of infinite chickenness.
Yummy. I like bird.
And I was untouched. Through the battle, but blood maledict does take something out of me. So.
Yeah. So you would notice as you get Maga, you would notice because you hadn't seen this before in any sort of food, that as you eat it, it replenishes itself.
Grab another leg and stick it in my bag.
Can you remind me which rooms that we visited had candles?
Ugh, I wish I remembered. that was part. That was improv.
I think I actually remember.
Awesome.
Hold on. How do you ping on this?
Just on the air. If you want to actually draw, and just like draw a dot on each one.
I know for a fact. Are you guys still seeing the labels?
We are not, actually. I am not, anyway.
I fixed that. So I know one of them was this room.
Yeah.
That was the big altar room.
Any drawings I do will not show up unless you are there for the Fog of War. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember there were 4 rooms that had the candles in. This one that had the big altar in it. The one directly behind it. The larger of the 3 on the
one's on the very beginning over here too, though.
The largest of the 3 on the top left.
That one.
Oh yeah, that one.
And one of them up in the north. I can't remember which one now.
I think it was this one, the one at the very top right.
Yeah, I think you're right. It was the one at the very top. The other ones were either dead ends or rooms with no candles in them, but lots of bones.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, and even the ones with candles often had lots of bones.
Well,
Mostly
yeah,
you find lots of bones. It's like the only sign of any life despite what you hear. Well, and the snakes and the goblins.
Jokes about your weight, but they never lie.
Yeah.
So then Kara will go to this one first since it was the closest one.
Hold on. Can you ping again? Hold on. Filters. Back to R. Okay.
And she'll start lighting all the candles.
Okay.
And then offer some flowers.
Okay. Where do you put the flowers?
Right in front of the center of the candles.
That would have been the altar.
Okay,
Get
yeah,
the
so
flowers
right
from.
on the altar.
Okay. You don't feel any presence as you do this.
Okay. And then she'll move on to the next one.
Okay. Fair to say you're gonna do the same with all of those?
Yep.
Okay. We'll go ahead and pan back over to everyone else in the meantime then.
Thatch, how much do you know about Kara? How long have you known her?
I know a little bit. I've known her for quite a while. She's the one who taught me how to speak Draconic. I always knew she had a darkness in her, but that was just cruel. It worries me.
Num 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 num.
Worries me too. Is she from the Hells? Do you know?
If I know.
She did specifically say she was from the Abyss.
The Abyss? Gotcha.
Yep.
You're not in our conversation.
Right.
Yeah,
no, but that's worth knowing.
To Thatch.
That's worth noting.
But
Yeah.
Thatch always assumed that was like a small town way south. The deep south.
No, during Nyx and Kara's conversations, she has specifically said that she was from the, from the Abyss, specifically the 7th Hell.
Okay.
That's weirdly specific.
Anyway, are we?
I'm gonna just have to.
Are we waiting Are we waiting for her? Or are we moving on? I'm fine with either.
We're waiting for her. She's still my friend, but I'm mad at her.
Of course, we're leaving here with the same number of people, if not more, and I kind of nod over to Maga, than we came in with.
But technically, she came out of my pouch. She came in with us.
True. But we're not leaving anyone behind. And anything back there, she can handle herself, so...
Yeah, and we're not leaving anyone's behind either. No butts left behind.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if that's the plan, then I guess we'll wait. Kind of push up my bedroll and lay back on it.
We'll wait until she's finished doing whatever it is she's doing.
Okay. In that case, you guys will have had a long rest before she finishes.
A long rest? Okay.
Oh, we figured.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because her going 120, she could easily cover it in 8 hours when she's not waiting for other people.
That was a very loud cat.
That is a...
Silver. What is your problem?
I've got it. Their food's empty.
Of course, they're being vocal in.
So.
Yeah, I also scream when my food's empty.
Oh, make sure you make them sit. And actually, wait a moment.
Well, they're not both out here right now, so.
No, they're in here being butts. I mean, not being butts like earlier.
Alright.
Siamese like to announce when he's going to the litter box because he doesn't like to use it.
Feel free to move me as I go through things.
Okay.
And
Well, we're gonna say that you get through each of the rooms. You do not feel a presence in any of them. You do light the candles as you stated. One of the rooms, because it's quite a bit smaller than others, warms up pretty fast. Like as you're lighting, because of the number of candles, you're like, "Ooh, okay."
feels a bit like home.
Yeah, maybe.
So.
Sure, I want to go to sleep again. I keep waking up in strange places.
So, Carl head on back after making sure each room that had candles in it is lit, and I'll be extending my senses out too to just make sure if I can feel that presence at all as I'm retracing my steps.
Previous presents are the ones that had been mentioned.
That ominous presence.
As you pass by the one ornate door, you kind of feel that ominous presence really, really take hold. You feel it throughout the caverns as you push your senses out, but it seems really, really strong in front of that ornate door.
Okay. Yeah, then eventually I'll make it back, however long that takes.
Okay. I'm gonna say, with you moving at your speed, it takes you roughly a day and a half. Seeing as that is your sole focus.
Yep.
I guess Nyx will have slept on his side during that whole point, so as to not crush Berkrin. Or have Berkrin crush him. Maybe even worse.
Nah, just strap him to the badger.
I don't...
To be honest, actually, that would be our best bet, is to strap him to the back of the badger.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not sure how easy this is to get off, and I kind of start tugging at the ropes that are holding him on.
We have a day and a half to do this. I'm pretty sure we can figure out how to get the harness off and on the badger.
I mean, it's just basic rope. It could be cut.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's cut, then it loses length.
Magic.
Anyway, yeah, I'm sure.
There are lots of long rooms.
I'm sure if we put all of our heads together, we can get this and strap him to the badger instead.
Badger.
So we use the sparkly potion on him.
Maybe we can do that when he's awake.
No, it's no fun when they're awake.
Or I could try it.
No fun when they're awake.
It's more fun when they don't know what's going on. I'm telling you.
I'll take your word for it.
Believe me,
Also,
I never
I'm
know
not
what's
sleeping in
going
the same
on.
room as you anymore.
I very rarely know what's going on.
And I say, hey, what's going on?
I say, hey, no.
No, it's gonna be stuck in my head.
So after that excursion, Kara returns. And then...
So it's been a day and a half. In that time, yes, you managed to unstrap Berkrin from your back and strap him to Grip. Grip was a bit cranky about it.
Oh, it's fine. You both have fur.
But we don't really notice because Grip's cranky about everything.
Crankier than usual. Nipped at you a couple times. You think he's just extra lovey today.
Pretty much.
Alright.
She's returned. Do we go further south, or do we just do this corridor this direction?
East or south?
Do we split? I can scout ahead.
How sneaky are you?
I pull up the hood of my cloak of elvenkind and kind of give you a nod.
Alright! Have at it.
Alright, I will, keeping to the shadows as much as I can and using as much cover to obfuscate me as possible, I will pursue the path southward.
Okay.
Obfuscate. I like that word, obfuscate.
I love how no one bothered to check the javelins that she just threw on the ground right there.
Nope,
Of course not.
interested.
We're all still mad at you.
I have ranged weaponry. I'm fine. Thank you, though.
I have a hammer.
So what's
sparkly
so
potion.
special about the javelins?
They were the goblins.
I am no longer there. I can't say anything. Oh boy.
So
Does this fork?
as you continue forward, you go south for about probably hour and a half, and it splits in 3 directions.
Let's see. I'm gonna go towards the middle. Can I see down any of these directions before I pick one, I guess?
You can't see till you start choosing, because they're just
Alright.
apart.
Oh, fair enough. I'll pick the middle one. And I will... Yeah.
So,
Well, there we go.
another 45 minutes or so pass, and you come to an end. This is another room filled with candles. No door. They just kind of start... As you go down, you see a candle here, a candle there, until you get to the end, and the entire wall area is covered with candles along the floor.
Does this one have another altar, or is it just candles?
Just candles, no altar.
I'll head back and then take the one on the furthest east. Guess. I assume that takes a while, so if you want to cut back to the other party, feel free.
Yeah, we can do that.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of the Justice.
What are the rest of you doing?
He said he was going to scout ahead, so while he's scouting ahead, I'm going to tell everybody I'm going to scout in the other direction that we haven't gone. Because I am also sneaky.
Okay.
Just gonna sit here and wait till somebody decides which direction we're really going in.
You can come with me if you like. I mean, I'm being sneaky, but it just means things will notice you first.
If you leave me alone with the Badger and Berkrin, potion.
Yeah, that would be a
Okay,
bad
yeah,
choice.
yeah, carry on with the Badger and Berkrin. I'll just be flying above you being sneaky.
So no more race car noises?
I want to play with.
Do not feed grip potions. Bad things happen. Usually gas.
It could be fun.
Nobody likes a farty badger.
Okay. What's Caramottin doing?
Gonna feed the Badger some rolls with meat and cheese.
And special sauce.
Mm-hmm.
What's Kara doing?
Feeding
Kara's
cats?
trying to decide what to do. Kara's mainly just playing with her jaded chains and cleaning them while waiting for feedback on where people want to go, because she gives 0 fucks right now.
Mm-hmm.
How far can I yell if I need to do so?
Oh, it could probably carry for a while. This is, after all, a cave system.
Mm-hmm.
Oops, wrong button. I meant to actually look at that, not link it.
Okay.
Well, now we can all look at it.
Apparently.
That can get you 1 square away.
That was my point. That was what I was looking for.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Oh, you seem to have found something.
I found a door. Ooh, door. Giggs is with me, right?
Believe so, yes.
Okay.
I'm with the Badger.
Then you're with me.
Yep.
So Kara will actually start heading down here.
Okay. We'll start heading which way? Another one. Okay.
And then use her hand just to push the door so long as it's like the others, and open it up.
Hold on. Book after book after book, because I didn't get a thing in. What the what?
Yay.
this one then. It's slightly problematic. Which book has the things?
Oh, no.
I'll take this head. I'm not seeing it. Where are we at time-wise?
Oh no.
Actually, we're gonna take a quick break, guys. We will be back in about 15 minutes. See you guys shortly. Alright, and we're back, guys. So, where do we start? Who wants to go first?
Well, Kara was opening the thing, and Thatch was opening the thing before Kara was opening the thing,
Alright.
and Nyx was standing in, looking at the abyss, trying to remember if it felt like home.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay, so we'll start with Thatch. So as you open the door.
Sorry, I couldn't help
Throwing out
Nyx.
parts from my sausage.
Fucked up.
Is it possible to crack the door open and just peer in rather than open it the whole way?
Unfortunately, no.
So if you open the door, it's either all the way open or all the way closed.
Yep.
Well, if you open it,
And
it's all
I've
the way
known some
open.
girls like that.
Alright. Oh, man.
Oh Jesus. This is where we all die.
So,
Oh God. You found boogers.
How
as
quick can I close this door?
you could probably close it pretty quick because they do have a bit of distance there.
Yeah, I'm slamming the door again. Nah,
Lobs.
Okay.
nah.
So, as Thatch opens the door, he sees 3 goopy, nasty-looking black piles of very sticky-looking substance. As he opens it, it jiggles a bit, and the one closest, which is about 30 feet away, kind of lunges forward a bit. And you hear something slam against the door. It kind of reverberates, but it doesn't open.
What if it can squeeze through any gaps?
Which is why we're leaving.
Okay. We'll go ahead and pan over to Kara as she opens her door.
What's behind door number 2?
So you open this door, and it is another room filled with skeletons. Again, pristine condition. And as every other room, as the rest of the cave has been, everything is perfectly smooth.
Are there any candles in this room?
There's no candles in this room.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and search the room for anything about touch, eyes, key, use all my senses.
Okay.
Smell.
So how are you going through exactly? Because it's piles of bones and stuff.
I'd probably slowly move them and pile it. So, Kara, being the engineer she is, and as fastidious as she is, she'd probably wind up trying to put all the femurs, legs, everything in the proper, like in their own pile.
Okay. So, as you do that, you uncover 5 potions.
Why, he always finds the loot. We find snot, he finds loot.
She.
Find the
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, she does look for it more.
My apologies, I was referring to the player, not the character.
So
I shouldn't do that.
the potions
Because the player is specific.
The potions are a deep blue with bubbles floating from the bottom up.
Bubbles.
You found club soda. Hell yeah.
They're all the same.
Bubbles?
You find a token with a big feather on it. And then you find 10 silver potions.
You found tonic water. Now to find some magic gin.
I'm gonna further inspect the token. But does it feel magical at all?
It does.
It's a Chuck E. Cheese token.
It's not a Chuck E. Cheese token.
We'll change it for a whistle.
Nah, you only have one token. The best you can get is one of those goblin-shaped eraser toppers.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
To which, if Kara got one of those, she'd immediately murder it.
Those tokens, it's O4. And then we get to F. So it would be under tokens, I believe.
Is it the one that I think it is? Because I can get you a link in chat.
I don't know if it's the one you think it is.
I'm gonna post it and see what you think.
Yes.
Cool.
I was gonna describe it.
Yep. That one should... I don't know if this gives you description. It should, though.
Yeah.
No, one of these days I should probably figure out what the hell feather I have in my backpack is that I pulled out of the Kender Pouch.
Pretty sure it has a full description. Can we get through the damn steps already? So instead of it being what most people would be, it is a token. So it looks kind of like a brooch. It's really fancy. It has a gem in it, and looking into the gem, you see a feather in it. Tavern Tales, there's 6 of them, but one of them is asleep. Excuse me, 5 of them, and one is asleep.
Yeah, one of them is currently tied up to a giant badger.
Yep.
And 2 of us have split off into our own different directions.
So I'll put the 5 blue bubbling potions, and you said 3 silver potions?
10.
10 silver potions?
Mm-hmm.
In my bag. And I'll pocket the token.
Okay.
And then go try and find Nyx.
Okay. So we'll go ahead, pan over to Nyx.
Yes. Do I see anything here?
This room is filled with bones and skulls, and around the edges, this one does have candles.
Is there an altar anywhere, or is this just bones and candles?
No altar.
Okay.
In the center, you do notice what looks like an extinguished camp.
Oh. Well. I would like to kind of poke around the abandoned, I guess, camp and see if I can find clues as to who was there or whose it was.
Okay. You don't really see anything that points to any specific race or anything. Outside of the camp being there, it's, again, spotless. There's no crumbs, there's no footprints, there's
Okay.
nothing.
So I've kind of gathered that it may not be alone, though this could have belonged to the goblins before. Hard to tell. And yeah, I will go back up. I'll probably pass by Kara at some point.
Not gonna search any further.
In that room, I would not. Kara, feel free.
What did you find in there to begin with?
More candles. I figure you might want to light them.
Well, I mean, you could light them. You shouldn't. You should have like one contender on you.
Yeah, that would take ages to light every single candle with just a tinderbox. I figured you were using magic of some kind. Is that how you've been doing it?
I lit a torch, and then I ran the torch over the candles.
Okay.
I mean,
the torch that's still burning that you have?
I lit another one, yes. Because they do run out.
Right. And when you use them, they kind of go away. And I would like to keep mine unburnt.
Okay.
If you want to...
Then torches are like 5 copper a torch, right?
He's frugal.
I am poor.
What do you mean you're poor?
He spent all his gold on hookers and blow, man.
Compared to you, I have a very small sum of money.
Well, here, let me fix that.
I'm not asking for any of it.
He likes them gnome hookers. You could just toss them around like beanbags.
So, Kara's just gonna take out 2 platinum and put it in Nyx's hand. It's like, here.
I don't...
Okay. That's enough for at least 100 torches.
Like,
thank you.
Behind your ear.
I'll try not to spend it all in one place.
And then if you need more, just ask, Sweetie.
So you'll go to 2 whorehouses instead of the single.
So.
Okay, I'm done with the whore jokes.
Thank you. Thank you for the money, Grandma. You can light the candles if you'd like, and I walk past. And I walk
Now,
away.
listen here, whippersnapper. She's gonna grab his tail as he walks away.
Ow! 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 Ow!
Yeah.
Ow!
Yeah. No, you're coming back here with me after that comment.
You young men are going for a timeout! It's the naughty spot for you!
Do I have to go pick my switch?
I'll pick your switch for you, boy.
Oh, jeez.
Dirty.
Good.
Did you find anything in the other room? Or are we wasting time here?
Yes, I did find something in the other room. And she's gonna go and toss the token at him as she goes in to check, do a thorough check of this room, looking for any signs of previous life, symbols, anything.
Okay. So, as she searches the room, there's clearly signs that there was life here at one point, as there is the extinguished camp in there. Further search also reveals another potion. This one is like a very, very warm pink. Hold on. No,
Nix, come here.
No. Okay. She also finds 10 crossbow bolts, 40 silver, and 10 cut topaz.
Look at all you missed! And she's gonna hand over the pink potion. This looks like it's something you drink.
There's no telling how long it's been down here. Do you typically just drink things you find in caverns?
Yeah, there's not much I won't drink.
For adventurers, it hasn't failed us yet.
Or, I especially like to drink tiefling. She smirks and goes to start lighting all the candles.
Okay.
Awkward.
Well, as she
What
lights
can I
them,
say? Their
no.
blood's hot.
Very strange. Very strange.
And as she lights, she doesn't feel any presence this time either.
Okay.
Have you felt any presence after the initial one, throughout lighting all of these candles? Is this a wasted effort, or are we...
I haven't felt any, but I also haven't felt that ominous presence. It hasn't been overpowering at all, so maybe it's helping. I don't know.
I mean, it stayed about the same as it had been previously. It's not any stronger, but it's not saying that it hasn't been there.
Right.
All right. So yeah, let's rejoin the others. See what they have found.
So, are you guys literally just chilling outside that door?
I'm going in.
What?
Oh, we were paying attention to what you guys were doing. We probably would have been moved. More than likely, we'd be coming back to get you to say, "Hey, we found." Not.
Sit right here, play with my potion.
Is it something we want to fight? It's not.
Thatch would know what they were.
Oh yeah, but he's making snot jokes because it's Thatch.
So you...
Thatch.
What exactly are you afraid of?
I'm not afraid of anything. I just don't like fighting puddings.
Well...
Blew its
Thatch.
nose in that room, and it ain't pretty.
I like my stuff.
I know that you like your stuff. However, we are afraid of, okay? And if we do this strategically, we can do this without ever having to worry about our stuff disappearing.
Okay, we're good with that. See, now that is smart thinking that happens when you're old enough to know better.
Okay, so we open the door, Maga does her magics in the room, and then we close the door.
Why would
You
we
think
close
I want to
the
go
door?
in there and do magic?
No. You just point your finger. Magic happens. Like it does for you.
Those of us with
Here, you want me to
ranged,
point my finger?
those of us who have ranged weaponry can also aid in the assault. Am I
What about
incorrect?
That depends. Do you slash?
no piercing damage in my case?
No, I pierce.
I don't believe.
Hard to slash from a distance.
Yeah.
Also,
Can I
could it
roll
be
a
said
history to see, or what would she know about how weapons affect puddings exactly?
Thatch would know how weapons affect puddings.
So, Caramottin and Thatch would know that depending on the type of pudding, some damage doesn't work, some effects don't work, and pretty much every time slashing damage or piercing damage does not work very well either.
are they vulnerable to fire?
Depends on what color they are.
These
Does it
ones
depend on
are
what
not.
color I am?
You would know. Thatch would know that these ones are not.
Are they immune to it?
You would know that they are.
Yeah, actually.
Hmm.
What color are these?
Black.
Yeah, they're immune to fire.
Mm,
All right.
You would
then
also
I will
know that
just-
they are corrosive.
Hence the, I like my stuff, I don't want my stuff to be eaten.
Sure.
We're being raided.
Oh,
thank you for the raid.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
Now, are you changing the qualities of black pudding by chance, dear?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Black pudding is immune to cold, not fire.
Lightning too.
Yeah.
No, this said, oh, excuse me, not fire. Correct.
I can fire.
So you would know.
I like fire.
Yeah, no, Thatch would know it is immune to acid, cold, lightning, and slashing, as well as cannot be blinded, charmed. Well, no one would really know if it could be deafened. No one's ever seen it affect, but it doesn't seem to have ears.
Yeah.
Can't go prone.
They're also too stupid to be afraid of anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yep. And Kara would mention that if you try and slash at it, they split. So you only want to use piercing for the most part.
Legend.
That should be no problem for me.
And most of us don't have range piercing weapons because I didn't go for the massively awesome Swordorang.
So,
So I'll knock an arrow and keep it trained if anyone wants to open the door.
Yeah, and I'll precast a Thorn Shot.
Okay. So that means
All
you
right.
guys are choosing to go in. You guys will get a surprise round. Let's go ahead and get initiative order going since we have.
However, I am doing the precast before we open the door, so I'm rolling for magic now.
Oh,
okay. And so that's going to be your ambuscade once the door opens?
Yeah.
gotcha. 22.
I take it you want me to use my firebolts this time, not my snowballs.
Yes.
Where
And
did I throw those damn things?
they would have both mentioned the fact that they're immune to cold.
Why do I
So
not
the
see
snowball
those
would
right
not work.
God damn.
Where's that first
This
dose?
is bad initiative rolls from me tonight. Holy cow.
Oh, there it is. No. Just slide down here with the rest of them. Thank you.
How are you doing tonight, Fennec? Maga with her initiative rolls though. Oof.
Right?
Is that good?
Oh, I need to roll my initiatives too.
Yeah, you've had nothing but high initiative rolls.
Is that good?
Yes.
Why did only the one? Fine, I will do them myself.
I had really low initiative rolls that time, which makes me very, very happy that I have
Ooh, that is very, very low.
Ooh, what is that? What is that?
What is that?
Is it a naked mole rat? What is that? That freaky thing. It's a naked mole rat.
torch things?
Descending.
A torch now? Can I torch now?
No, because I get the shot first.
Mm.
Come on. Record. Hello. Do the thing. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello. Squawk.
Hey, there's a news.
Oh. And tapioca.
And
I'm just gonna call those squishy boys.
come on. Alright. And fix that order again. Alright, so you guys go fast first.
I rolled the, well... Yeah, I rolled for the magic before we, opened the door,
You
and
got 22.
I got a 22. What do I have to roll the d4 now?
Yes.
Uno. I told you! Ones.
At least you're rolling the right ones this time.
Once.
Can I light it up? Can I light it up? Can I light it up?
Hold on a sec. I'm fixing.
I light it up. I got sparks flying.
Okay.
Alright, then
So
I'll
you
know what's going
rolled.
on, so.
Did you roll to hit?
22 on... I rolled a 22 on the magic table, and then a 1 with the d4 before we opened the door, because I was pre-casting the thorn.
Okay, so your effect is doubled.
Oh.
I don't even
Nice.
have to sit there and check it. I got it this time.
Because I seem to roll the same thing over and over. So, for ambush, get shot.
Right. Which one are you aiming on?
Probably the nearest one.
Okay.
And if I remember correctly, puddings don't have a very high to-hit.
Not at all. That does, in fact, hit it. Go
Nice.
ahead and roll your damage.
Arrow does 11 piercing, and then...
Okay. So as your arrow sinks into the pudding, it starts fizzling around it, and smoke's rising from the shaft.
Man, my d10s roll like crap, and 10 damage of thorn damage exploding from inside it.
Ooh.
Okay. That's gonna be.
Doesn't it also need to make the dex save?
I could pull that. Yeah.
Hold on a second.
Or is it Hell of Thorns or is it Thorn Shot?
A hail of thorns, but if I remember correctly, the central target doesn't have to make a save, does it?
It does. All within 5 feet of each other do, which in this case it'd be 10 foot. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it fails.
Yeah, it doesn't matter anyway, it failed. But yes, it does.
The other two also need to make, don't they? Because I
Only
No,
if they're
because-
within 5 feet of it.
Which they are.
Yep, the effect was doubled.
Okay, only
However-
if they're in 10 feet of it, which they're... I don't know if they are or not.
In this room, no. In this room, these tiles are
Gotcha.
20 feet.
Okay,
Yeah, we're good.
good to know. That clarifies some things.
Level 1. I only have level 1 spells right now.
Alright, Maga
Gotcha.
is next. What would you like to do?
Maga.
To throw the firebolt.
Fireball.
Roll a d20. No, 30, excuse me.
30.
Fireball's a cantrip.
Oh.
Cantrips
so,
aren't affected by that. Never mind.
So just a d20 then.
Doo-doo.
D20 plus your ranged spell attack.
Well, it should do that just clicking on it. On Firebolt.
It's a non-clickable damage.
No, it is non-clickable. Okay. Alright, so yes, you will hit it with that. Go ahead and roll your damage.
is the damage?
So
1d10, so
it
slash R
should say it in the
1d10.
spell.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, nice.
Okay, I assume that's gonna be on the front one there as well.
I'm throwing it in the middle of the room. It's gonna hit everything because it's ranged.
It's a single target.
Yep. Okay, so it would in fact hit that front one. So that one will take another 10 points of damage. As the flames hit it, it sizzles a bit, and a noxious smell starts filling the room.
Oh boy.
Okay.
But it says making it a ranged spell attack.
Right, meaning you fire it
Any
at
flammable
range.
object hit by it isn't thrown or carried?
What?
At a creature instead of all creatures in X radius.
Yeah, it's not an area of effect.
Okay.
Okay, Caramottin, it is now your turn.
Okay. So I am in fact 20 feet away from the nearest one, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Then I'm going to use my full actions without moving. So first swing at it. Character sheet. There we go. And it's piercing. So
An 18 does hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Nice.
Okay. It takes 5, and as your blade cleaves through it a bit, it doesn't cleave enough to cause it to break apart, but it does sizzle a bit. And you see the tiniest bit of damage on your jade blade as you pull it back.
The jaded chain is considered magical.
Is it?
Yeah, because it has ki flowing through it.
Okay. Well, it appears.
Okay. And then I will go ahead and do my second one.
Okay, that will hit.
And this one is only 6 damage.
Okay. Right, and again, as it sinks in, a little bit of sizzle comes out, appears slightly damaged, but as you watch, the damage disappears.
Okay. And I'll now use a flurry of blows. So just did both of them. 9 and 13.
9 and 13, those both hit.
Nice.
So that is 4 and then 2.
Okay.
And that's my turn.
Okay. Alright. Next, it is... We're still on surprise round, so it should be Thatch's turn.
Thatch.
Alright.
Wait, Thatch already went, didn't he? Because he... Right, ambuscade.
NBC.
So now this is his regular surprise.
Yep. Which would be under advantage, and he's just gonna shoot the guy again. Dong.
Okay. Yeah, that hits.
Non-magic arrow, so it's gonna fry the arrow when it hits. That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yep. Well, it takes some time, but yes, as it thunks in. So there's now 2 arrows sticking out of this black, nasty ooze, and which is also a little bit flamey and smoky, and still with the flames and the fumes coming off of it, and even more as it's starting to melt another arrow. It is getting very stinky.
I
Probably
would like
not
to
healthy
bring
to
the
be
attention
breathing
to the
this.
fact that there are more.
What?
Yeah, and how much damage this thing is taking?
Okay. Next is Nyx. Your turn.
Alright. So first thing, bonus action, I'm going to do my Crimson Rite. Invoke Rite of the Flame.
Okay.
So you see, kind of coming down through the bandages down his arm, you see more blood kind of begin to seep through. And as it reaches his hands, he smears it on his weapon, and it ignites in flame. Which means my max HP drops by 3. And then I will take a longbow shot at the first one here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
Ooh!
Aw, you do not hit.
Alright. I'm going to move back just a little bit so that I can kind of take some cover behind the door there if I can.
Okay.
And then that is my turn.
Alright. Where are we turn order-wise? So we are...
So it is now a grip.
Yep. Are you gonna have Grip do anything here?
No, because Grip is not stupid.
Okay. So Grip smells all these fumes, as well as the smell that these things put out themselves that he would have smelled, and he just kind of growls and backs away.
Yeah, he'd be like, nope, and probably go all the way over here.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So we are now in regular turn order. Maga, you go first.
Or fire at them?
Okay. Remember, right, cantrip. Go ahead, roll a d20 to hit. Okay, that will hit. Go ahead and roll damage. Okay.
Can someone check her dice, please?
What are you checking mine for? I've seen the way you roll.
Okay, so you extend your hands out, and another firebolt forms, and you throw it at it, and it sinks in, and again, fire starts erupting on it. So there's more fire and more smoke and fumes going on. It is getting oof.
We're gonna choke and die before these things even get a chance to take a swing at us.
Okay, Caramottin, it is now your turn.
I'm going to make one attack first. And as I am, I'm gonna ask him if shutting the door.
You're gonna what?
I'm asking the hit party while I'm taking the swing if we're gonna be shutting the door right now.
Probably a good idea, considering.
The smoke in the hallway's getting bad.
Okay. Alright, so as your blade goes out, it wraps around, again, pierces in, you pull it out. Same effect where it appears to corrode, and as you watch, the corrosion disappears on it. That is another 7.
Okay, then I will use Flurry of Blows instead of using my second attack, so I still have the opportunity to move. To make the 2 attacks on it.
14 hits
And a 16.
will hit as well.
Yep. Okay. So one of those is a 2, the other one is the full 7. It's the first Flurry of Blows that counts,
Okay.
I think. Let me double check Flurry of Blows.
Pretty sure it's the first one. Would make sense for the last one to carry more damage than the first.
Okay. Well. Flurry of blows. Flurry of blows actually gets the full bonus.
On both of
So
them.
that's
Okay.
yeah.
So,
It's the offhand attack that doesn't get the dex.
okay. So, how would you like to do this?
Just throwing the chain in, pulling it out before it could damage the precious jade, and then backing away.
Okay. So, as your last one sinks through it, the fire overwhelms the rest of the ooze, and as you pull your chain back, it disintegrates.
Well, that's one down. Thatch, please close the door.
It's not my turn.
What, you think we can't take the others?
You used all your movement there?
True, I didn't use a movement at all.
Are you saying I can use my movement to close the door?
Yes.
Okay, then I will do so.
Nice.
Okay. Alright. So, with the door closed, that in combat, they can't get through the door, as you guys have already seen.
That took a lot.
Yeah. So one's down. We have two left.
Are you... That was fairly simple.
Yeah, it's a good thing these things aren't very smart.
We can take out the others.
We can. It's just a good idea to make sure that we close the door after dealing with one. Having two of them up close, we could actually lose all of our armor if they hit us.
And you're sure they can't squeeze through the door or any gaps in the walls?
I'm sure they could eventually.
No, you guys would know that they actually wouldn't, because the space between the doors and the wall and floor is just too small. They can't spread themselves thin enough.
Yep. So,
Is there anything in that room worth getting, or are we just killing more things to kill things?
It's all with smoke.
that's just it. We don't know if there's anything. We need a key. We know that. If you want, we can continue to explore. And then come back and deal with these if we need to.
I'd advise that, honestly. No point in putting ourselves at an unnecessary risk unless we're absolutely certain that we have a need to.
Okay.
Okay. I'll drop my Crimson Right. So the flames extinguish, and we will continue forward, or at least to the east.
Okay.
Kara's gonna use prestidigitation on her chain.
She would not have needed to. She would have seen that the corrosion disappeared as she...
Need to
Hold
or
it
not,
down.
it's her... It got gooey. It touched goo. It needs to be cleaned.
Okay, so as you guys
Strange, I
head
thought-
east, you see that it appears to split in 3 directions once again.
I think we should stay together, considering
Considering what?
Considering if we had been unlucky in that encounter and someone had been by themselves when those oozes were discovered, they would have been...
You don't think any of us could have handled ourselves?
It's not a matter of thinking whether or not someone can handle themselves. It's the potential danger.
Sure.
Why take an unnecessary risk?
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Just seems a bit overly cautious, considering nothing's really bothered us here.
It's not really a matter of caution, is it? We have no way to get the equipment back should something happen to it. Do you really want to wander around in these caves naked? Because you can if you feel like.
Are you not wearing clothing under your armor?
I'm not sure I should answer that.
What armor? And she points to her silken garb.
Oh, like you've never been naked before. And we continue on.
I can be right now if you'd like.
I'll walk away.
Okay, so which way would you guys like to go?
Looks like we're going to the north path.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and fast forward a bit here.
Okay.
And say that you guys reached the end, and all you see is a perfectly smooth back wall. There's no candles, there's no bones, nothing.
I feel like I'm starting to go mad. All of these rooms look the same. Have we been here before?
Can
Yes.
Card take a closer look looking for a key?
Is this a new... Is this a new room at all?
So she looks around. There's absolutely nothing. Again, one of the few rooms that had nothing in it, perfectly smooth, with the rounded transition to the floor instead of having the sharp corner. But again,
I'm not sure, Nix. I'm starting to go a little crazy myself with all of the dead ends.
There isn't a giant ant building these things.
One would think.
okay. Which direction would you guys like to go now? I assume you guys head west back out of.
Yeah, back out and then down that southern path.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We will explore every square inch.
I have a little bit of history about doing that too.
I'm not sure what you mean. I choose to remain ignorant of what you mean.
Well, do we might as well stick with finishing off this corner.
Oh.
Okay. Are you guys all going the same direction?
Yeah, my tokens just aren't moving very well. There we go.
Okay. We'll go ahead and fast
Find my
travel a
crosshairs
bit.
again.
As you move forward, you get to the end, and it appears to end in a T. It goes to the north and to the south.
Oh my.
Well,
I got it. I moved the crosshairs.
all things go up, I suppose. Oh, do you see tokens now, Maga?
Well, I can find my crosshairs if I move my mouse around often enough.
You said north?
Yes.
Sure.
3 blobs, though.
Okay, so it is Fog of War 4.
But I should have had that fixed. Okay, so as you guys get to the end of this tunnel, you see another door.
I'm just gonna open it.
Oh.
So you open the door. This room's a lot different from all the rest. You see what appears to be a bunch of moss covering almost every bit of the ground and going up the walls. It's bright purple and it glows.
With all of the traveling, have I seen anything in my travels that reminds me of this natural phenomenon?
What does it taste like?
You've heard of it, but you haven't seen it yourself, and this is actually where we're gonna end tonight.
Oh.
Because we don't have time for this next bit.
I'm gonna taste that moss.
Okay. Let's not do that right now, because that would definitely initiate things.
Oh yeah,
So,
like the death of my character.
yeah. So, what was everyone's favorite part from tonight?
Civil War.
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting way to see how the Civil War plays out.
Agree with that.
And it's a soft Civil War. Like we can party together, we can still hang out, but like, yeah, this is definitely.
He's not sharing. He's just not sharing his yogurt anymore.
Yeah, exactly.
He hasn't even shared his yogurt.
Oh boy.
Of course not. He was too busy sharing pudding.
Can we talk about how much Kara wants to just make Nyx uncomfortable? I don't even think
that's
there's.
her whole goal right now is making him uncomfortable.
I don't even think there's genuine interest there. I think you're just trying to make him uncomfortable. Poor guy.
Yeah, no, that's exactly. His naivete is just so amusing to her. Like real talk though. What the fuck is with this cavern?
I can't tell
It's
ya.
fucking crazy.
I can't tell ya.
There's slimes sometimes.
I mean,
It's nuts.
we could go longer. We could.
There are people who do need to be
Tired,
at.
I'm getting pretty tired. It is 1
Very soon for me.
It is 1 a.m. for me.
Weaklings.
Sorry.
It's 1 a.m. for me too, and my day starts at 6, so I gotta
Oh,
be up
boy.
at 5.
Oh boy.
Well, thank you for joining us, Maga. I think that's actually one of my favorite things is having Maga back.
Yeah. It's great. It's
I had to be back more.
Yeah.
Sparkly potion yet.
Okay. Well, I think with that, it's about time to cut to credits.